I'm gonna make 3 wildly different videos out of the same footage that I shot this morning, just to give you an idea of how versatile this stuff is. This will just give you a sense of some of the possibilities that you can do when you shoot evergreen B-roll like this. So check it out. Example Church really changed my life. I mean, from the first time I came in, I was greeted so warmly. I felt like I had a place to belong. The worship service spoke right to me. The things that the preacher were saying really just hit me where I was, and it helped me get my life back on track. I really feel like without Example Church, I don't know where I'd be right now. Good morning, Example Church. I just wanted to remind you about our upcoming worship night on Thursday, August 24th. We're gonna have a bonfire outside. Our worship team's gonna be there, and we would love to see the whole family. We won't have childcare at this event, but the children are invited to participate in worship. Hey there, I am so excited that you're gonna be checking out Example Church this Sunday. I wanna give you an idea of just what to expect when you get here on a Sunday morning. First, you'll park in one of the new here spaces. Our parking attendants will be happy to guide you there if you just turn on your flashers when you pull into the parking lot. You can get your kids checked in downstairs and then head upstairs, grab a bulletin, and head into the worship service. During our service, we'll have a contemporary style of music with a full band. Senior Pastor Joe Blow will get up to speak, and actually, that's funny because his name's Joe. Today, I'm at LifePoint Church, filming B-roll they can use all year for promotions, highlight videos, testimonials on their website, social media, all that stuff, and I'm doing it in one morning. Oh yeah, and I'm bringing you with me, so let's get into it. Okay, first things first. B-roll footage, B-roll or B-roll, is any supplemental video that is considered to be secondary to your primary footage. That is the stupidest definition I've ever heard. Ignore them, listen to me. We're gonna have a chat real quick. B-roll is the second layer of immersion. If you remember our 3 layers of immersion video, A-roll, our first layer of video, is where we see and hear what's actually happening. I pick up my phone and I take a video of you, and I've got A-roll. B-roll is where I take you from the other side of your computer screen, I bring you into the story, and I put you with the subject so that you start to feel what's happening. We slow down the footage as the adrenaline kicks in, or we cut into facial expressions so you can feel the emotion. We get all those really neat story elements. And then sound design is the third one. B-roll is an incredible tool when it comes to getting people to actually follow your call to action. Whether you show them the payoff, you show them the impact of their actions, or you just give them a little FOMO, B-roll is what will move people from the start to step 1. B-roll is what gets them to watch a video and think, I should do something about that. But just because B-roll is awesome doesn't mean time stands still while you capture it. So when we shoot B-roll for a specific video, we know the story we're telling, so we shoot footage that will tell that story. We get the right emotions, we get the right locations, whatever. When we're shooting evergreen footage, we don't have that benefit, so we need to anticipate the stories we might tell in the future. So rather than trying to guess every video we'll make, I know there are repetitive processes at this church. Things like they have a worship service every Sunday, the youth group meeting. So I'm gonna go and capture footage of those things to then later cut into whatever the story they might be telling is, locations people have seen, that kind of stuff. There are a few types of B-roll that I always seem to use in the edit, so I'm gonna make sure that I capture those. Every story happens somewhere. If you've got a campus like the Carey 117 compound in Kora, Ethiopia, or the building where LifePoint Church meets, look for creative ways to establish it. Think about rooms where people gather, places they'd see, and find a new way to look at that space. Big, wide shots of the exterior of the building are great, but try your best to avoid trees and plants, as these will be a dead giveaway as to what season it is. It is possible to establish a space from inside, but it isn't very convincing to promote your Easter services with snow on the ground. Okay, caffeine break. We are heading up the road to Sheets to get some of that, but I figured while we're doing it, I would talk about gear. You can do it as well on your smartphone as you can on a cinema camera. But stabilization is something you need to think about. Give the 3 points of contact rule a try. That's the idea where you have the camera having 3 points of contact with your body. You can also brace yourself on something. For bonus points, use something long and smooth to create a slider-like motion. You're welcome. Another thing to think about with B-roll is that it doesn't always have to be in slow motion. You're trying to tell the story and put people in the shoes of your subject, not impress them with your Hollywood-style stuff on not a Hollywood camera. Slow motion has its place, especially if you're trying to highlight an emotion that maybe you can, it's some action that's gonna slow down, but it's not the only way to do it. For example, thank you. Thank you, you're welcome. Another thing I'm always looking for is smiling faces, happy interactions, all that kind of stuff. Anything that could happen at any time is widely applicable in the stories. We're being quiet because there's youth ministry at the bottom of these stairs, and they're very distractible. You should always film many short clips rather than one long clip when you're capturing B-roll. This will make it a lot easier to organize your footage in post, since each video will only have one shot in it. That way you can title it more appropriately than DSC00554.mp4_, but it will also make it easier to work with in your editing software, since you won't have to load this gigantic clip and then try to find the 3 seconds of footage of Aunt Sally hugging her cousin Jackson. If you're filming in slow motion, then try to film no more than 8 seconds at a time. If you're filming in real time, try to film no more than 30 seconds per clip. You want enough material to work with that you can stretch out the clip to fill any gaps in your video if you need to, but not so much that your clip can serve more than one purpose, again, for naming and efficiency reasons. What are some ways B-roll could change the game at your church? What are some ways you've used B-roll creatively? Let me know in the comments, and just like last time, I'll see you next time. Now that we know what B-roll is, let's jump back to LifePoint and figure out how we get some. That came out wrong. Let's go over to LifePoint and figure out how we make B-roll with our cameras. Flip a flapjack. Flip a flapjack. Oh snap, I wasn't recording. The derp.